Welcome to Job Tips, the career development channel. In this video, how to answer the question, what do you know about our industry? That's coming up. In the interview, many questions will come up about your experience, about your history, about your education, your background, your knowledge, your skill sets, all those sorts of things. One question that often comes up, though, outside of your experience and your education level and your skill sets is, what do you know about this industry? Well, if you've been in the industry for a length of time, you should know a lot about the industry. And depending on the industry you're in, only you could answer that question based on your years of experience in your industry. So that being said, let's assume that you've been in the industry. You can talk about the different players in the market and so on and so forth, but then turn it a little bit to talking about the competition that directly affects the company that you're interviewing with. Because it's one thing to understand the industry. It's great. You understand the industry. So what? But when you understand the competition and how to address the competition, how to compete against the competition and win, you have a leg up in the interview. Many other people will simply talk about the industry. Well, the industry is so large, the industry does this, the industry is that, but they don't then talk about the competition. And isn't that more valuable, really? It's good to know about the industry. Great. They probably have a sense that if you've been in the industry for 10 years, you can talk about it all day long. But can you address competitive pressures and those sorts of things? Now, if you've come from outside of the industry, I hope you will have done some research about the industry at least. And you can talk about the knowledge that you've gained about the industry from the research that you have done. Also, depending on how the interview is going, sometimes, though I don't recommend this unless it fits your personality and it fits the situation at hand and how the interview is going and the personalities of those on the interview panel, you could actually interject a little bit of humor. I'm going to give you an example of when I actually did this and I got the job. Okay? Many years ago, I had worked for a large trucking organization in the parts and service side of the business and did not know a lot about what was called HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, especially as it relates to heavy trucking and the unique needs of truck manufacturers, dealerships, customers in that world, etc. Okay? So when the question came up, so what do you know about HVAC? My answer was, and it was truthful, and it was almost accidental. It was not intended to be a humorous kind of thing. I was just perfectly honest. I said, nothing at all, but I'm willing to learn. Now, the temperature in the interview was pretty good. We were sort of jiving just fine. The personalities were clicking just fine. There had already been some sort of humor interjected in different points of the interview, and it was becoming more conversational than anything else. It just happened to be at that time when I said, nothing at all, but I'm willing to learn. They thought I was joking. Seriously. The reason I know this is after I got the job, and I did get the job, and was with that company for 10 years and promoted quite nicely within that 10 years, I asked one of the vice presidents who was on the interview panel and to whom I reported directly for a couple of years about that question. After I got hired, they realized I really didn't know anything about HVAC, but I am a quick study. I did learn it rather quickly and did very well with it. But they thought that I was kidding, and they thought they'll go just the opposite of my answer, saying he may say he knows nothing, but he probably knows a lot about it. Just the way it sort of came across. Don't use that unless you are really in that zone and unless the interview is going along that well. But I wanted to share that sort of humorous story with you because it's a true story. It really happened. I really got the job, in part because they thought that I was giving just the opposite of what they were looking for. And so and the whole panel thought the same thing because he shared that with me in that question when I asked him a couple of years down the road. Well, listen, I hope you've enjoyed this brief video. And let me know in the comments below when you've had to address that question as well and how it has worked out for you. Also, I'd be so thrilled to hear your suggestions of future videos you'd like me to do. And please subscribe to this channel. That'll help us out a tremendous amount. And hit that notification bell to not miss out on any future videos. Well, for job tips, I hope you get that job and you develop that dynamic career that you want to have.